there, Haley and Jonathan. Hope you're having a great time on your trip. As your video lesson for today, one thing I want to talk about, two things I'll talk about, and if you have questions, feel free to give me a call when you guys get back in town, or shoot me a message when you get back in town, and I'll do my best to answer. So let's get to it. So the first thing is some more off the guitar practice stuff, and one's kind of relevant to where we are in the Suzuki book, so it's actually a good timing about bringing that up to me. So the first thing with note reading is focusing on naming notes on the ledger lines. That's where a lot of students kind of get kind of like a fuzzy on which note's which. So I don't have mine with me, but what I would do is use your note slider. Maybe you brought it with you on the trip. One thing that the note slider I wish it had was the ledger lines below the staff, like these right here, practicing these ledger lines right here, naming those. I'll do my best to see if I can find one that's out there that has those. It would be great to have just a guitar one that just didn't have the bass clef that would have the ledger lines below. Maybe you guys can make one, and then I'd buy it from you. The ones that you can practice on the slider that she does have are practicing these right here, because we're getting close to the spot where like note reading sort of takes over. Like you still listen to your pieces obviously, but note reading becomes like more of a thing that you do as we're kind of approaching like mid book 3 and the end of book 3 stuff. So you can see right here in the waltz, in the Paganini waltz, how the notes will go up to let's see, your high D, and I think it doesn't go past that for this one. But you will want to start practicing naming the notes on your slider up in those high ledger lines and actually playing them on your guitar when we go back to actual guitar on the guitar playing. So for right now, just practice naming those notes above the staff and then like picturing in your mind like where is that on the fretboard. And then that way when you get guitar back in your hands, we'll play like maybe up the C scale and go, oh, there's that C, there it is right there. I can play it in 2 positions because I'm doing off the guitar practice as well. Is like it's the C is here, right? So say if I play, okay, here's a C right there, and then here's the same C right there. So you can play it both spots. If you know the note slider, okay, there it is. And then also still working on those high notes right there too. And then the other important thing I wanted to talk about as far as note reading that we need to start really kind of working on is 16th note rhythmic groupings. What I mean by that, you can see right here in the music, the waltz, is that you start seeing stuff like this. And how do you count that? Or how do you count these things up here? Because you're just gonna be looking at these more and more. So maybe what you wanna do is get some rhythm cards. I have mine at the studio, obviously, not here. But I have different cards with different note groupings on them. Kind of represent it kind of like this right here. So the way you count a 16th note is when you have 4 16th notes, it equals 1 quarter note. So if I play that, it's gonna sound, because it's my teaching guitar. If I play 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So I'm doing there is I'm dividing the beat into 4 equal pieces. 1 E and a 2 E and a. So being a quarter note like this, 1, 2, 3, and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Right? Is I'm dividing that into 4 equal pieces, and the way I count that is 1 E and a, 1 E and a. And the way I write that down is like this. If you look right here, 1, a lowercase e, a plus symbol for and then an a for a. So 1 E and a. There's different ways of writing this out. This is like the way I just have been raised to do it. But sometimes you'll see AH or something like that. But it's like, why write the extra H? It takes up too much time. So 1 E and a, and it sounds like this. The cracks in it. 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 1 E. So the way we practice that off the guitar is your dad, for example, could clap quarter notes, 1, 2, and you practice clapping 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, right? And then you can trade off where you clap quarter notes and see if your dad can clap 16th notes. The next pattern of that, in order of complexity, is this: an 8th note attached to 2 16th notes. And this is going to sound like this: 1 E. So that rings out for 2 16th notes. 1 E and a. 1 E and a. 1 E and So it sounds like this. 1 E and 1 E and It will sound like this. 1 E. Oh, sorry. 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and And the same thing there. Your dad can practice clapping chord notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and then you guys could do cool stuff where it's like your dad clap 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and you can clap 1 E and 1 E and it'll fit together. The next one to practice would be this one, doing the opposite way. 1 E and 1 E and So this one, the long nose on the end right there. So 1 E and 1 E and it sounds like this. 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and I think there are some Suzuki rhythms that do this right here. I think this one, just off the top of my head, this is like Mississippi, Mississippi, Colorado, Colorado. So there's like the things you can say to have these rhythms. This one here, Jack, Rabbit, Jack, Rabbit, Jack, Rabbit. So you can think of it that way too. You see that pattern, Jack, Rabbit, Jack, Rabbit, Jack, Rabbit, Jack, Rabbit. And this one here, there's one for it, and it escapes me right now, so I'll just think of it later. You guys can come up with one if you want. Rabbit, Jack, Rabbit, Jack. Do that instead. Rabbit Jack, Rabbit Jack. Oh God. Cool. So practice clapping different groupings of 16th notes and trading off back and forth. That'd be a great way to entertain yourselves from the long flight back from probably New Zealand, I think is where we'll be flying out of. But that'd be a great way to entertain yourselves on that, like whatever 18-hour flight that is. You can have everyone on the plane doing it too. Awesome. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I will see you when you return. Bye-bye.